1 second left. Hey, good morning, you guys. It's Tricia Turner here with another episode of Anything But Average, Achieving Success in Life. We're just running a little bit behind schedule today. Sorry about that, y'all. It's Friday, and Friday for me has started off like a Monday, and I think Tina's has too.
Yes.
So I have Tina with me this morning. Tina's going to give us a little bit of backstory, tell you guys where she is in the United States, and then we're going to dig right into where she's been, kind of what her goals are, and some of the challenges she's faced in growing her operation, and some of her successes, of course. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, obviously, I live in a place where hairdressers are not considered essential. So I'm looking at my hair going, oh my God, I need my roots done. But anyway, I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I grew up in Michigan, and we moved here to Raleigh 9 years ago. And I've been selling residential real estate for 20 years. 9/11 was actually my first day in real estate. So,
are you kidding?
No, I was driving to my office. I was 23 years old, and the plane, hit the tower, and I called my husband. I'm like, oh my God, there was a big accident. You thought it was an accident, the first plane. And then I went into my broker meeting, and then the second plane hit, and then it was like the meeting was over,
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just a very memorable first day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got into the market when things were different instantly, kind of like this coronavirus was.
Instantly, yeah. I remember my brokers, they were so frazzled because they had lost, like that next couple days, they lost 12 to 15 transactions. People were pulling out of deals because they thought we'd go to war, and there was terrorist attacks. And so there was a lot of uncertainty. And so the markets shifted, and I remember they had to bail out the airlines because people weren't flying. And it was just very, very eerily similar to this.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So in North Carolina, in Houston, I don't hear very much in North Carolina about what's going on there with the coronavirus. So are you seeing things ease up? Has it been really impactful to your market? What do you think?
Yeah, so we've been blessed. I mean, we were deemed essential from the beginning. So our market had such a low inventory anyway. We had a 2-month supply of housing. So we weren't keeping up with the demand. And so we would go into multiple offers where there were 10, 12 offers. And so what I think happened now is, less sellers in the market, less buyers, but it still remained pretty strong, where we're selling 900 homes a week.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I know.
So have you guys seen yours slow down at all?
Our market? Mm-hmm. Definitely slowed. So we had 50% less showings.
Yeah.
I mean, for our team, generally we sell anywhere from 10 to 15 homes a week. And so we'll be anywhere from 8 to 12 is what we're finding. So we did lose a little bit, but, which we were prepared for. But thankfully, you still have a lot of relocation clients still coming in. People have to move. They have to get their homes ready to get their kids into maybe their new school district in September if we ever go back.
So now it's May 1st. Are you guys kind of released from this shelter in place thing? What are y'all doing there?
No, so we're supposedly going to be lifted in a week. And so the stay-at-home shelter will be lifted, we hope, and get back to business, get people back to their, small businesses is what we're hoping.
Yes.
Because we haven't had a huge spread of COVID here, thank God. I don't know if it's due to warmer weather or what, but we've just been very blessed.
I think we have here too. And it's always hot here. So today we have a lot of things lifted. There's restaurants opening up today. A lot of things. Yes. The restaurants have to function at 25% capacity, but there's a lot of stuff opening up. So there's like a big burst of energy in Houston right now,
It'll be interesting to see if people, really race back. I mean, I can't wait. We've been having carry out for a long time. So it'll be interesting to see the public's reaction to re-entry.
Yeah, and then even here, they announced yesterday that the Houston Association of Realtors is even going to allow us to start publicizing public open houses maybe on May 18th. So,
well, there you go. I know.
So it's like it's hope. It's light at the end of the tunnel.
That's right.
And that's all we can hope for. It's like a world we don't know. It's like every day is a different day. We're just figuring this out as we go.
That's it. I tell
my team is we got to keep going.
Yeah, I said, trash your business plan. This is a new one. So we're just day to
And
day.
then for like you and I, like you and I have similar backgrounds. You were a broker at Remax, then you moved over to Keller Williams, and now you're with Exp. But tell us a little bit about that transition. How long were you at Remax? Why did you go to Keller Williams? And then the transition to Exp. How did that go?
Yeah, so I was when we moved here to North Carolina, I thought I was, I needed to go to a known brand, right? I really missed, and now I have a different feeling, but I missed that thought process where the consumer, really cares about the brand. And so I went to Remax and I loved it there. I loved all the leadership there. They were kind of a company where they just left you alone. Like you just, they stick you in a corner, you pay for an office, and they just hope that you are a good producer.
Yes.
And so I went from my first year there, we sold, I think, almost 40 properties, brand new in the market, couldn't leave a neighborhood without GPS.
Wow.
In fact, people actually listed with us, but they did. And then the market started crashing, because we were here in 2009. And so the market's doing this, agents are leaving, but I had been in Michigan in 2006 to 2008. I was used to short sales foreclosures. Our market had been there a couple years before. So I actually could navigate that whole situation pretty effortlessly because I could do short sales. So we went, as we started growing the business, by year 4 and 5, I was selling 130 homes personally. I had my husband who was helping on the field work, back end stuff, and then I had one assistant. And so the wheels just felt like they were falling off. I told my coach at the time, who I've had for 12 years, I don't know that I could do anymore. And she's like, you can do more, and we'll just do. I'm like, no, I'm not having fun anymore. I can't get to my clients like I want to. So I felt like I was missing out on that service piece.
Yeah.
And so I then decided, okay, I'm gonna hire a partner. I'm gonna, hire a great realtor that will take over these buyer leads for me. And I met Laura and Leslie. They were my first 2 partners in the business, and they came on board. One of them still with me today, and it was great. It was like, oh my God, the pressure was off me. I could just focus on listings, help my sellers, and they could help the buyers. So we went from 130 to 175 transactions at Remax. And what I started realizing was, as we were growing the business, so was the overhead and cost, because Remax's split it sounds great, 5%. You're like, wow, that's pretty good. Well, as you're a top producer, that 5% in perpetuity ends up being 80, 90, 100. I have friends that were paying $100,000 a year to Remax.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. And you don't realize it because you're just, nobody is looking for a change. I'm a creature of habit as well. And when I'm comfortable, I've got my work family. I know where everything is. I know who's down the hall. It's like nobody wants to go into a new classroom and meet new friends. Like, it's just the worst.
Right.
But, as that pressure, of me trying to leverage and grow a team, I was like, man, I could take that $80,000 a year and put it into 2 salaries and hire 2 more amazing partners. And so then, during that time, Keller Williams was recruiting me pretty heavily for 4 years. So anyways, they finally gave me a sweet deal, that I couldn't pass up. And, it was for 1 year, and I could bypass all of the fees and things like that. So I went there, and it was nice because I knew that it was 23 grand across the board. That's what I was paying. My agents would each pay 13,000. But when you add it up, it's 150 grand a year that my team is paying Keller Williams. And people don't think of it that way. They go, oh, well, I'm only paying 23. Yeah, but if you have teammates, they're each paying 13. And so you add up all that and you start going, I'm paying them more.
Yes.
And I'm not getting that much in return because I was already a top producer. I moved over. I was the #1 agent at the firm. And it was like month after month, I'm getting awards. And I'm like, gosh, this is anticlimactic. Like, I'm not being pushed. Like, I'm the top of the totem pole here. And so I always reach out and know that my relationships with people around the country were where I learned the most. My mastermind groups. I had a coach. My coach is there for accountability. And that's why I tell people, you can learn to be a master salesperson. Your coach will give you accountability, but they're not going to teach you to sell. You have to teach yourself or get into a program where you're studying every day. I would study scripts. I would listen to them. I would write them out. I would have role play partners every day. So I was self-taught, but my accountability was my coach to make sure that I achieved my goals. So as I was, just trudging along there at Keller. I had nothing bad to say, great company. I was in a suite by myself, so I was paying for that suite anyway, on top of the fees. And so I just thought, why are we here? Because my business from Remax went from 68 million to 75 or 78 million at Keller. So it grew.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, it grew. But then when I moved to EXP, my volume went from 78 million to 105 million. So I finally realized that the consumer doesn't care where we work. They work with us, right? So I think that, and I always say this, I think that when brokerages started allowing their agents to brand themselves, it created this consumer confusion where every sign looks different. It's not the Coldwell and the Remax and the Century 21 anymore. It's every agent at Keller Williams has a different sign.
Right.
So it dilutes the branding. And so when you dilute the branding and you allow all these agents to self-brand, the consumer doesn't care where we work anymore. Like they don't call Remax because they know Remax. They call Zillow or Trulia or Realtor.com and say, hey, can you show me this home, Tricia? And they don't ever say, but Tricia, what brand are you with?
No.
Have you ever heard that?
No, never.
Ever. In thousands of transactions. And when I was at Remax, my brand was Call Group. I went there and the balloon was nowhere to be found. It was like on the back of the folder.
Right.
I never pushed Remax. I never pushed Keller, and I don't push EXP. I'm the brand. It's Call Group. And so, so as I was exiting Keller and I was going independent, thank God my friend Michelle Sayward, who's a pain in the butt, called me and said, what? You're going to Keller? Well, I mean, you're going independent. Why? And I said, because I'm done paying all of these fees. I'm over it. You know, I can do so much with this. I was on a mission to create residual income, and I was going to take that money and I was going to go buy rental properties. So I already had 4 or 5 rental properties, but you'll get, this is a funny story, Tricia. I was actually going to go buy a trailer park. I bought Trailer Park University. So it was a series where they taught me how to find the land, you know, just find all these mom and pop, you know, trailer parks that needed to be kind of spruced up. And, you know, so all you're doing is buying the land. You don't have a lot of, you know, overhead, and you're making $15,000, $20,000 a month in passive. And the reason I was doing that is because after 20 years in the business, I realized I can't sell my business. It's nothing without me in it, working every single day. I could buy rental properties, but it was a huge financial investment. You spend $30,000, $40,000, and then you're only making $200, $300, $400, $500 a month unless you buy it cash. So each rental property was cost, you know, I was making $3,000 to $4,000, $5,000 if I was lucky per year. So that can't live on that. Yeah, I can't live on that unless I have 50, 75 doors. So I can. And who's going to buy 75, 80 rental properties? That's a whole other world to live in.
Absolutely.
So I was on my way out. I was going to put a deposit down on a $1.2 million trailer park here in Chapel Hill. And the residuals that it showed on the profit and loss sheet was about 15 grand. And that was my strategy. I was going to do it twice. I was going to make that 30 grand a month, and I was going to live off those residuals into my retirement. So I didn't have to bust my butt every day hunting for buyers and sellers every single day. But Michelle said to me, well, before you do that and spend $250,000, why don't you spend $149 and see if Exp Realty will bring you that same residual income within a year or 2. She said, I bet you could make that same income in 2 years. I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. She's like, please watch this video, watch this video. So I was like, fine, I'll watch your stupid video. I was such a brat. And it was even funny, Kevin, my husband, he would hear Michelle call and she's like talking EXP, and he's like, tell Michelle to F off. Like, we're done. We love it. And now to this day, I'm like, Michelle, thank you. Thank you for being a pain. I love you. So long story short, I brought my team of 14 agents over. We spent $149. We spent about $1,000 ordering new signs at $45 a piece. We changed the logo on our cards, and we had 50 pending properties at KW that we moved over. That we left there and, you know, got our pay, and we brought over all our listings. Based on that, I had my 14 agents. I brought over 20 agents this past year, Tricia, and I'm not calling agents. They are calling me.
Yep.
So I not only brought over two of the top 10 agents in the triangle. So we're now 3 of the top 10 out of 9,000 are here with EXP. They were both Remax brokers.
Oh, yeah.
We took Exp Realty from number 18 in our triangle area. We're number 2 now year to date.
Wow.
And I bet we'll be number 1 with the volume because there's more teams joining. There's more exciting announcements coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so what's crazy is I've created that same $15,000 of passive income. I created that in 1 year at EXP with a $149 investment. It's insanity. So,
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just think, it's like when I was talking to somebody about it the other day, I said, you know what? I don't know where EXP is going. I don't know what the next 5 and 10 years look like, but if it looks like anything the last year or 2 has looked like, it'll be world domination, you know?
Yeah, the thing, it's just a smart model. It's like, when you think about, when I looked at it from the top down, I was like, brokerage models are just like me and you buying a McDonald's, like you're going to buy a McDonald's, you're going to buy a territory, you're going to have a franchise agreement, you're going to have all these rules around it, you're going to hire employees, and your business is based on how many of those cheeseburgers you can sell every month, right? Brokerages are the same. You buy the brokerage brand, you buy the building, you take all the risk, you have the regional contract, you have the franchise agreement, and it depends on how many agents you can get and how many homes you sell. It's a business model.
It is.
They are paid to love us and give us trophies because recognition is the #1 human need, right? We all love our trophies, and I had a ton of them. But the reality is, when I looked at it from that aspect, I was like, well, that is a business model. And now you and I can have that same opportunity with 0 financial risk. And the most beautiful part of it is this: my agents have the same opportunity that I have. They actually have teams under them bigger than our team that we're all on.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been fun. One of my agents she attracted 5 agents, and she's got 23 agents in her organization. And my God, her mortgage payment is being paid for. So they're so very thankful for the opportunity that they're blessed with. And now, as an entrepreneur, I've scaled. I'm in 10 states. That's amazing because I know a little call group couldn't do that without this platform.
No.
So yeah, I mean, just the same success you're having, I'm having, and there's tons of stories out there.
There are, and when you go on your own as an independent too, then you're in charge of training everything for those agents. You are still everything.
Everything. And you're not really building, Marty Hampton, who's one of the top Remax agents that came over, she's been in the business 40 years. And she said to me, the model is broken. She said, it took me 18 years, she said, to grow a brokerage to 80 agents. Yep. She said, it took you 12 months to get to 170. She's like, that's not fair. But that's the scalability. And the thing I heard the other day, which is so true, it's the #1, fastest growing brand in the history of our nation. And most agents don't know why. They just hear the chatter, but they've never looked under the hood. And so as a entrepreneur and a business owner, you go, don't you want to know your options? Like, why not? And if you have a better model for me, Tricia, bring it to me tomorrow. Like, I will look at it. Mm-hmm. So
I had a similar conversation the other day, and I said, all you have to do is look at the numbers. Like, when you really look at the points to consider, it's a no-brainer. There isn't anything like it out there.
Yeah.
And I think one of the most beautiful things in the world is, and especially in the business world, is the fact that I would not know you if it wasn't for EXP.
Exactly. We are so connected. I know so many people in this company, just in the short year I've been with, literally all the leadership. I've had calls with Glenn Sanford. I've met Glenn Sanford in Charlotte at a hotel. He sat with Marty and Sharon and all these great agents. I mean, we're so accessible to each other that I have never had more fun. And just the other day, I picked up the phone and I called another great team leader, and I'm like, what is your structure? How are you doing it? But he gave me everything, and he's just so excited. Why? Because he's a shareholder. Even though he's not in my organization, if I explode and sell a ton of homes, that helps him.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, I get so enthusiastic about the brokerage, because I own a piece of it. And so if it grows to 50,000 agents and 100,000 agents, I'm thrilled. I mean, I'm thrilled.
Great.
Yeah.
And especially like your model, because you came from Remax, then you were at Keller Williams, and then you were about to go off on your own as independent. So when you're working through all of those, you're working 7 days a week. You're grinding every single day, and it's hard to continue burning like that. It's like, do you want to keep doing that when you're 60 and 70 years old, having to go on listing appointments and just work slave like that? No.
You brought up a good point. You know, when you look at the agents in our market that have been doing it forever, they're still doing it. Now they say they love it, and that's fine. Maybe they do love it. And I would be one of those agents that would be doing it for, you know, till I'm 70 and say I love it, but I don't think that they love it in their 70s. You know, they
have to do it too.
And they have to do it, because how many realtor retirement parties have you been to?
Right.
None.
You know, in real estate, things are so cyclical. You know, like right now with this coronavirus, nobody saw that coming. You know, they talked about a recession, then they were like, oh, actually, we're not going to have a recession. And then all of a sudden, boom, there's a virus. And okay, overnight, you're not going on listing appointments, and you're not going to open houses, and your partners don't want to get in a house with you. So everybody is like paralyzed for a time there, and some people are still paralyzed. They took like the whole month of April off, not knowing what to do. And you know as well as I do, you just took that month of April off. What do you think your May, June, and July are going to look like?
Well, and the neat thing was some of our partners up in New York, so they were locked down, and some of our partners in California, they could not sell homes. Our agents at EXP, because they were leveraged nationally, the agents that could sell, I'm out here still selling homes. So Dan Beer and Mark Z and Michelle, that are all on lockdown, were getting commission checks based on my production. That's amazing.
It's
it's the most diversifying key, you know, a leverage point that I could have brought into my business. And I wish my parents would have taught me that in my 20s. I'm in my 40s now. I wish they would have said, diversify, diversify, diversify. Warren Buffett says that. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. And we do that as entrepreneurs, whether we run a restaurant or a gas station, or we're realtors, or we're doctors. If you're a doctor and you're a surgeon and you lose your eyesight, your career has ended. Ended. And so, and I'm sure that's happened, unfortunately, to some people. How did you diversify? So it's a lesson, I think, for all of us. Now my mind goes to, you know, do I have a product I could sell online? Do I have, you know, because online shopping went up. So you're really just kind of thinking about things in a different way, because this has taught us lessons.
Well, you know, also too, because in our group, this core group of ours, everybody is like-minded. They're drivers. Everybody's a driver. They want to do more. So everybody's like leveling up. It's like, you said you did 250 houses. Okay, well then we have to do that. So it's like, and so what it does, and then we share ideas. Like, it's not just about real estate. It's like, you know, Jay will get involved in something. So I'm like, oh, well then I need to get involved in that. And it's all about creating different streams of income.
Yes, absolutely. All of it. And it's just been fun. And the other thing that I got to say is, you know, I actually have a mastermind group every morning where we role play and we prospect, and it's agents from all over the country. So different brands, you know, and I was talking to one of my now new friends, and, you know, she was saying, my gosh, you know, she's got 20 salespeople. She's trying to get to 50. She's not with the XP, but she's like, I get scared of hiring drivers and people like you, because they want to put their name on the sign. She said, I know if I let them list and teach them listings, they're going to be gone, you know, after a year or two, because they're going to be able to fly. And it's almost like, as team leaders, you know, you're taught to clip everyone's wings. You don't want them, you know, learning more and being more, because then they might leave you. And it's like, you invest so much in people, and then they're out the door. And so with this model, what I truly, truly love is that it's given me the freedom to teach my agents everything, like literally dissect my brain. Here's the listing presentation. Here's how we do it. And if you leave me in a year or 2 or 3, bye. Like, we're still together and we're still business partners. And I never have to lose a partner again. And so that is the most beautiful part of this brokerage. That it takes off like the shackles of us having to, you know, keep people down. And that's what I love about it. So I'm like on a mission to just help agents really kind of understand it. and see that there's more options. And, you know, it's not going to be for everyone. But I think for most that are business minded, you just can't go wrong.
So now thinking back when you were going to and how long have you been with EXP? Remind everyone.
April 1st was my 1-year anniversary.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So
just
fun.
over a year. So looking back prior to that, now do you have any regrets there?
My biggest regret, and I hear a lot of people say it, is when I saw it 2 years ago that I didn't investigate more. But I just didn't see like top producers moving in my area, especially. And so there were a couple decent producers that were good, but I still didn't resonate with the whole, I didn't get it. I was like, what avatars, virtual, that. So once you see the ecosystem and you see the connectivity of it all, and you see that there's leads, there's training, you get a CRM, you get, revenue share, you get stock, all that for $85 a month. You're like, that is too good to be true. And I remember when I saw it, I wanted to move the next day, and my husband slowed us down, and he slowed us down for 6 months. So we talked to Clayton Gitz in Virginia. We talked to, a bunch of people in California. We talked to team leaders in Texas, and we called them all, and we were like, look, we're not going to sign up under you, of course, so we can only pick one person, but what is your story? Do you love it? You could be transparent with me.
Yeah.
Every single one, Tricia, except one person who said, oh, it wasn't for me, and I left. Out of 50, one said she left. And what's so funny, this is a year later, she's back at EXP, that same
Oh my gosh.
She said she realized that she didn't know what she didn't know, and she came back. So 50 out of 50 team leaders and individuals all said yes, they loved it. And so I said to Kevin, I'm like, how many yeses do you need before you're convinced that this is the right move?
Right.
I'm done. We're moving.
I love it. I don't know how you guys are there, but here in Houston, because Houston's so big, I think EXP got in here kind of early. And so it's with every organization, you've got people that are doing the wrong thing. You got people that are doing the right thing. And so there was a kind of a stigmatism about EXP is just a recruiting thing. That's all people care about is recruiting. And I'm in the background like, no, you guys are so wrong. Our group is all about engaging in agents production, how to help you sell more homes. We want everybody to live an abundant life. It's not about recruiting,
Yeah, I had a team leader of another, team was kind of, upset because her agent, we were chatting about it. And it's like, if you're a great team leader, you have nothing to worry about, right? And so what I told the team leader, and I love her to pieces, is look, we are changing lives. I am bringing agents on that are selling 4 homes a year. Now they're selling 4 homes a month. Yeah. So they were making $40,000 a year. Now they're making $30,000 to $40,000 a month. That changes their life. I don't make that much per person. It's not about that, but it's about really giving back, changing lives, growing that person. They have an abundant life so they can give that same blessing to the next agent and the next agent. And so that's what truly is more inspiring than anything, is that we are changing people's perspectives and lives. So I'm not gonna apologize for attracting people to the model, because every brokerage needs to attract to survive. So of course, other brokers see a threat in it and they're going to be upset about it. And that's okay. You got to protect what you grew. But at the end of the day, I saw that what we were doing wasn't working as well as it could. And therefore, I'm going to, for me and for my people, move them to something I believe in. And I didn't lose one agent. Not one agent said, I'm not coming with you or I'm not doing it. And every single one of them love it. So.
Well, if you think about it, even with independent brokerages, with franchise models, whatever it is, you're supposed to be, as the broker, there for the agents. You're supposed to be giving them the best opportunities that you can. And I know, because I've had an independent brokerage, I've owned my own. You can't give them the training. You can't give them the coaching. You can't give them the resources that we as a group can give everybody, because when you put this many people together that are constantly just giving, training, trying to level up, oh my gosh, what more can the agents ask for,
Well, that's it. Imagine if you and I had the opportunity when we were new agents, brand new, to align yourselves with the top 3 or 4 agents in the entire market. Like literally do this, align yourself financially where they're so invested in you. My God, if that opportunity existed 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have been the first to sign up. And it always cracks me up when an agent that has, that does 4 to 10 deals a year is like, I don't know, it's such a risk. And I'm like, there is no risk other than I'll give them this. You are severing a relationship with your past, family and your past brokerage, and you feel like you owe them so much, and you've built these amazing relationships. I cried when I left Remax. I literally was boo-hooing because I love the broker. I loved him. And he's a great guy. And to this day, we're friends, but it's like, you feel like you're stabbing him in the heart, but at the end of the day, they're in business. They started a brokerage to make money, to do a wise, investment for their family. So everyone's intention is to be profitable. And if people lie about that in their own minds, and they don't believe that, you have to look out for your family first, then you're in disillusion, right? So
yes,
I think that's the hardest part. I think more agents would be at EXP or companies like this if it wasn't so hard to leave their work family. But at the end of the day, they don't have to be unhappy to leave. They just have to be seeking more. And I'm on a mission for my time. I'm on a mission to get my time back.
Gosh, amen.
Right?
Yeah. So. I posted something about that on Facebook this morning, because it was like, the older that we get, the more we become aware of how our time and how much time we don't have,
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to spend more time with my family. And so it's all about business, because the more I can spend time with my family, the better quality of life we all have. And I'm happier. And at the end of the day, that's what we're supposed to be doing,
Yes. And it's just been fun that, everyone has embraced me I've met all these new people, Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle and just Mary Maloney and all these wonderful agents.
Love them. They're so awesome.
Mark Z, he's always answering the phone for me. These are big business leaders that, wouldn't have the same amount of time to give me if we didn't have financial ties. And that's what I tell my agents: call me, bug me, pick my brain. Even to this day, they sometimes go, well, we feel like we're bugging you too much. I'm like, you are not. You are my partner. What can I do for you? What do you need? And to have that opportunity to help them is just great. So I've loved it, and I've made so many new friends, and it's just been awesome.
It's been awesome. So to finish out here, give everybody 3 tips that you're giving your agents right now to help them grow their business and be successful in real estate.
So I'll give you a little list I went over with my team. It's a series of thoughts on becoming a master salesperson. Okay. So for me, it's the first thing is discover your competitive edge. So what is your competitive edge? Is it the smile on your face and your enthusiasm? Like I think you're so enthusiastic, Tricia. Like you've got enthusiasm all the time. Jay Kinder, like, does that guy enthusiastic or what?
Yes.
So I think enthusiasm is yours. Maybe it's your grooming or the way that you dress. Some agents, they're always looking sharp. Like there's one in my market, Tiffany McLaurin, and she's got this red hat, and she's just, she's the brand. So that's her competitive edge, is her marketing and her edge. Maybe it's your positive attitude or your mindset. So figure out what is your competitive edge and work it. The second thing is understanding the importance of starting at 0 every day. So my agents right now, I have agents that have 12 deals under contract, 7 deals under contract. When you wake up in the morning and you have 12, families that you've helped go under contract, that's 12 paychecks. You might just get a little lax. You might get a little lazy, right? So start every day at 0. You have no transactions should be your mindset. And so you better get up and figure out, who can I help today? Like that is
love that
top producer mindset. Start at 0 every single day. And then I tell them too, you have to ask yourself, am I 100% committed today to my goals? Like ask that question. Did I have a day where I was 100% committed to my goal? So start at 0 and be committed to that goal and ask that question. Number 3, to become a master salesperson, you have to understand the accumulation effect. So whenever you do something good or bad, the more you do of it, the more you get of it. So if you have a bad eating habit and every day you wake up and you have the same terrible breakfast, well, that accumulation is going to add a lot of weight to your body, even though it doesn't seem like a big deal. So even if you're every day for 2 measly hours, for 120 minutes, you are prospecting, you are calling, you are moving the needle forward. And that's it from 8:30 to 10:30 every day. If you do that, you will not fail, because the agent that's doing it sporadically or once a week, they're never going to have consistency. So that accumulation effect is huge. Number 4, master repetitious boredom. As agents, typically we're high I, right? We're like, oh, squirrel.
Yes.
So if you avoid all distractions, lock yourself, in a room at your desk, get rid of your cell phone if that's what you use, to turn it all away from the emails, and focus. Just focus on that repetitious boredom. Being a realtor at a high level is boring. You're getting it every day at the same time. You're making the same contacts. You're saying the same things. You're doing the same things. And that's the only way you're going to achieve anything at a really high level. So master that schedule and that boredom. And then mastering asking questions. I think, when you ask questions to a consumer, why is that important to you? Why do you have to live there? Learn to shut up after you ask the question. So I think those would be my 5 tips.
That's huge.
Yeah,
I love that. Everybody needs to pay attention to that, because it's so true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, I think it's true. That's just what I live by. So
I love that, though. They need to watch this over and over and over. All these agents, you guys pay attention to this. Tina's like killing it there.
yeah.
Love this. Hey, what do you see your future with the next, say, 5 years for the call group?
I think our goal is to get to 500 transactions, but not by adding a ton of agents. So we want each of our agents at Call Group to sell a minimum of 35 to 40 homes each, because if they do that, they're going to have amazing, abundant lives and income. They're going to be helping, the right amount of people. So I don't want to be an average team where, each of my agents sells 10 homes or 3 homes each, and we have 50 people. I want them to sell 30, 40 homes minimum. That'll take us to 500 transactions with, under 15 people, hopefully. And I want to make sure that I reach as many agents and change their lives like mine was changed with EXP. So introduce the platform internationally. I'm talking about people internationally right now.
Yeah.
So to take that internationally would be fun, and probably be at 2,000, 3,000 in the entire organization, and travel a lot. Like
I love that. Very well said. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Very inspirational.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to more conversations.
Hey, yeah, no doubt about that. Tell everybody how they can find you if they want to learn a little bit about the call group, or just ask you questions.
They can just Google Tina Caul, Exp Realty. I'm on YouTube Call Group, at Instagram. So yeah, they'll find me.
Thank you, Tina. Have a great day.
Thanks, Tricia. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.